Hello YouTube, welcome back to Bison Workshop. I'm Bob. Today we're going to show you some things that I got today and tell you some of the bad things that happened today. Well, only one bad thing happened. I went to try a route to extend my drive shaft, and let me see if I can find that. I got this thing right here, which is a Cardone joint, and I thought that would extend my drive shaft, and it would have if I had the right drive shaft. I should have done my research and I did not do it, so I guess I ain't got nobody to blame but myself. This thing requires a certain kind of drive shaft and more parts. There's a centering piece that goes in it, a centering joint with a spring that goes on the drive shaft. This part, which also has a thing that comes up and over and has a round piece on it, and this one doesn't have that. So I'm not going to be able to use this. I didn't realize that had a centering piece in it. I figured, they centered themselves. Wrong. So, looks like I'm back to the drawing board. So now I've done spent money I don't have for a part that I can't use, and I'm still back to the original plan of having to pay somebody to make my drive shaft 1.5 to 2 inches longer, and I'm not happy about that. I am very mad about that. I never thought that through. But anyway, enough of the bad. I don't want to think about that no more. In fact, let me move that out of my way so I don't see it no more. I'm mad. So now I'm going to have to go back to paying this guy over here at this industrial park almost $170 to make my drive shaft 1.5 inches longer. However, I did think about modifying this thing. I was thinking about seeing if I can get another one of these in a junkyard somewhere. I don't know, I might be able to find one longer. If I can find one of these that's longer, I still might have a shot. But I could cut that off right there and take this cap off if it won't come off. I've never had one of these off, so I don't know if they come off or if they're pressed on or what. I could take and cut that and turn this piece. Remember, this was off of a yoke, so we know it's strong enough. But I don't know if it's big enough. See, that's 2 3/64. Yeah, it's not long enough. I mean, bigger. It's not big enough around. If that was about a 1/4 inch bigger round, I could take and lay that out to press on that, and then make my extension and lay that out for this side to press in, and then just take it and have it welded. Although this ain't much thicker, yeah, I'd want it to be a little thicker, and that's probably hardened stuff. So we're back to the drawing board on my drive shaft. So it looks like I'm going to be running in 4-wheel drive for a little bit longer. Alright, so let me pan you down here and show you this unit. Rex came and got his truck, and of course he had to borrow another dually to get that to happen. And when he came, he had this in the back of his truck, and it's a heater that's got copper in it that I can take apart, take all the parts out of it. It's got an igniter on it. And it's got a bunch of stuff that I can use. It's got brass, copper, and I can take that apart and use some of the parts out of it and then scrap the rest of it. Now that I have a trailer and my exterior, I'm gonna try to build some sides for my trailer, and we're gonna see if we can't start loading that thing up with metal. Cause I gotta do something for money. This damn being broke all the time and not being able to pay for a drive shaft is getting freaking ridiculous. So anyway, that's something that Rex brought. He also brought a shoe shiner. And it's an old one too, man, and it actually works. Check that out, man. I wonder if I can use that for something else. But I don't have no shoes to shine, so. But this is an antique too, man. This is a electric, spelt with a K, not a C, Shoe Boy by, that's not a G, it looks like a C. It might be Regina. I thought that was pretty cool. It actually works. But I wonder if I can use that to polish stuff around here. It ain't got a very powerful motor on it. But I thought that was pretty cool. Alright. So, that part for my drive shaft was something that came in the mail today, so that was one of the scores. Of course, that was a overdraft score. Anyway, Matt, my buddy Matt, sent me some stuff here, and we'll go over that. So I'll pan you down here, and we'll bring you down here to this bench. Sent me 2 oil bottles, and I do appreciate it, but Matt, I probably will never use these. I'm kind of partial to my oil cans. I never use a brush to do any oiling on my blade. I just squirt it on with my oiler. But I can modify these though and put magnets on the bottom of them so that they won't spill. And I know they're spill proof, or somewhat spill proof. I would imagine you only fill it to this level. But yeah, I appreciate that. That's pretty cool. I got 2 of those, red one and a blue one. And if I do start using them, who knows, I may start using those. Then this says lathe threading fishtail. I almost bought one of these one time, and I didn't feel that it was necessary because I never thread on my lathe. So I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to turn threads on my lathe. I feel that it's very unnecessary. When I got a tap and die set, I don't need to do no threading on my lathe. Not to mention, look at how complicated everything is on the front of my lathe. I don't understand half of that stuff. All I know is this makes your lead screw go faster and slower. I don't know what this one does. I've never used it. This one is the reset. This one's forward and reverse, and this one's power. Other than that, I am not going to open this every time I want to change a belt. It's too complicated. I can't figure it out. All that stuff, I don't know what all that stuff means. Lever, there ain't no lever on this thing. Where's a lever? This ain't a lever. See, I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. So I just soon not do any threading, but I appreciate that, and I'll use that for something somewhere down the line. Might make a good scratcher. I don't know. Maybe if somebody comes and shows me how to use that lathe for threading, might use it for big nuts and stuff like that, but I've never turned on the lathe, turned threads on the lathe, and I don't foresee me ever turning threads on the lathe. Anyway, got that. And this says Millvise Work Stop. Now that is probably going to be a very useful tool. Let's take this back to the mill and see if we can figure out how to use this. I would imagine that if I wanted to do, let's imagine these are two pieces of metal, and I wanted them to be milled starting at the same spot. I guess this would tighten down to that right there, and that way when I put this in, it would butt right up to that, and that will repeat. Let's say I wanted to drill a hole in one of these areas, I could, and then when I pull this one out, I put this one in, I put it in the same exact location. Now that will work really good. I'm guessing it goes on that, so tighten that down, and yeah, that'll be a nice useful tool right there. Boy, I wonder if he made that. Did you make that, Matt? It looks like something you would have made. I bet you did. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. That'll go right here, next to the rest of the tools. I still think that's pretty cool. And then he sent 2 brushes, and those will go for this. One for each one. Wouldn't be able to use the lid for it. I don't know why they give you a lid. Why would you need a lid for it if you're going to use a brush? We'll mix match the colors. Oh, these are better than the ones I've got. The ones I've got look like they're nylon. These here are kind of like a tiger hair. Anyway, that would be all the score. But there you have the Bison score. I also had a feller send me, yeah, I said feller. I had a feller send me a message last night, and apparently he watched the video about the MIG welder wire when I said that I didn't have any MIG welder wire, and I didn't really mean for that to raise such outcome that it came, and I really appreciate people offering to help me out with MIG welding wire. I can't even speak. And he asked me to tell him what size that I needed, and he would get me the biggest one that my welder would hold. And I almost cried when he said that. You know, I'm getting to be a pushover, so you guys have to look over me. I'm getting to be emotional anymore. I've just never had people think about me like that, and you know, I thank God every day for my YouTube subscribers for that very reason, because you guys do make me feel like that. So you know, that's a good feeling. So he asked me about the welding wire, and I said, well, I didn't want to abuse, you know, his generosity, and I told him, I said, well, you know, I've done had 2 people send me welding wire, and I'm pretty good on welding wire, but I do need welding rods for I need some 6011s, and that's a whole lot cheaper than MIG welding wire. So I figured I was saving him money and not wasting a resource. So but yeah, I really appreciate it, and I just didn't feel like that I should have got more MIG welding wire, because I already had enough. So there's no sense in draining people dry. You know, that's abusing people's generosity in my book. So but thank you all, everyone who subscribes to my channel and who do look out for me. It's amazing that people feel that way and enjoy watching me. I don't understand why people enjoy watching me. I kind of don't enjoy watching myself. So I guess everybody thinks that way about themselves. I just feel like that I'm unorthodox and don't do everything the way it should. So, but anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Rex, Brian, Ben, and his father in their shop. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little shop score. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to contribute to the shop, help the shop out, you can do that with PayPal at bisonworkshop@gmail.com. Any contributions that are donated towards the shop or sent this way, it all goes towards making more videos for you guys to watch. So you guys have a good one. Later.